I've been asked several times if I would do a story time. I wasn't really sure what a story time was, so I kind of looked into it, and I finally thought of a kind of funny story that I could tell you guys. So me and Jenelle are actually no longer friends, and I outgrew that kind of person and that kind of behavior quite some time ago, but our friendship actually ended on a certain day. I had like posted online about how hard it is financially to be a young parent and talking about like food stamps and stuff, and she commented on it and was like mad and said that her life is like harder because she can't get food stamps because she makes too much money. And that was kind of like it. It was like, you don't even understand life. Like, you are just stupid. But once upon a time, we did used to be friends, and I'm telling the story also because I get to talk about my friend Valerie, who was also a member of 16 and Pregnant, but she actually passed away. She died 2 Decembers ago from a heroin overdose, which was extremely heartbreaking. You know, I really cared about her and liked her, and I really hoped that she would get better and she wouldn't do drugs anymore. Sometimes for some people it's just too hard. So we were in New York for the reunion show, the Dr. Drew reunion show. I remember that was the time we went there because we went to New York several times during like a few months span. But this was for the Dr. Drew reunion show. During all of the 16 and Pregnant stuff, Jenelle was the one that I hung out with the whole time. I was always like one of those really good girls who liked to hang out with the bad girls because it was like fun and interesting. So that was kind of how that all happened. Like, I wasn't into the thing she was, but I was there to like witness it and see like what was going on. So at some point she's like, we're gonna hang out tonight. Tell your mom you're coming to my room to hang out. I'm like, okay. So told my mom I was going to hang out with Jenelle and that I would be back soon. So I meet up with Jenelle in the lobby, and she tells me that Valerie and her boyfriend, I think his name was Matt, she tells me that they drove here so they were able to bring weed and we're gonna go smoke with them. So at this point I'm like, crap, like I had only smoked a couple times in my life. I think maybe 2 times, and I don't even think I actually inhaled it. Like, had never smoked really seriously in my life, and now I'm going with these 2 people who are clearly good at smoking, and I'm gonna have to partake in this. So we're walking around and I'm like, oh my god, I hope we don't even find them, because we're like looking for them. She's like, they told me they're gonna be here. We're looking for them in like this store, and we find them. It is nighttime in New York City, and we are 16 years old. I think Jenelle might have been 18, but me and Valerie were definitely 16 because we were the 2 youngest on our season. So, you know, we start walking with Valerie and Matt and Jenelle, and we're walking, and they light it up, and they're starting to smoke. So at this point, I'm like, okay, if they pass it to me, you know, I'm just gonna be like, and I'm not gonna smoke it, and I'm gonna make it through this. But no, they peer pressured me hardcore into smoking, and then I like, you know, hit it and just blew it out real quick, and they're like, no, you have to inhale it. So this was really truly like my first time being high, was in New York City with 2 girls I barely knew and this guy who would not stop beatboxing. So at this point we're just like walking around very far, like miles I would say, and Matt keeps telling us he knows exactly where we're going, we're gonna be back at the hotel soon, blah blah blah. And I remember just being super out of it, and this guy is just like beatboxing, telling us he knows where we're going, and I'm just a lost little puppy. And I remember at one point there was like this billboard of this lady who was just like whipping her back over and over and over, and it just kept like bleeding more and more. And that's like the one part I remember, is like we just sat there like staring at it for like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then that was the point where I was like, well, I've been gone for a long time, like I have to get back to my mom, I'm gonna be in trouble. And my phone was dead, and I was like, she's probably been blowing it up, like I'm gonna be in so much trouble, and I gotta go back. And Jenelle was like, oh, I'll go with you, you know, I remember how we got here, I know how to get back. So here we go, again, walking forever. At this point, all the highness is wearing off, and I am just sobering up, and I am scared, I don't know where I'm at. My mom's about to be super pissed at me, and I was just like,
this is a horrible idea.
So after walking for probably about half an hour, we finally came to the conclusion that we had no freaking idea where we were, and Jenelle got a cab to stop for us. So we get into the cab, and she tells the cab driver the name of the hotel, and he's like, well, which one? There's like 10. And at that point, it's like, are you serious? Like, we don't know. This isn't when you can just look shit up on phones. I don't even think, I know my phone was dead. I can't remember if she even had a phone. But this was when you couldn't look shit on phones at all, period. It was just like, we don't know. We don't know. So we drove to the first one. Immediately, we could tell that is not our hotel. But we drove to the second one, and it was. But here we go. We had like a cab bill. I think it was like almost $200. And luckily, MTV had given us like some vouchers, but that was like all of it. We had to use all of it on this one cab ride. And we had like several days left there. At this point, I'm at the hotel, and I know that death is about to come because my mom is going to kill me because I was probably supposed to be back a long time ago. I don't even know what time it is anymore. My phone's been dead. There's been no way for her to get a hold of me. Like, life is over for me. I am screwed. So I told Jenelle, like, I'm gonna go with you to your room and assess the situation from there, see like if our moms talk to each other, like what's going on. I go with her to her room. Her mom opens the door, very angry, and is like freaking out and screaming, typical Babs, you know, screaming, and Jenelle screaming back, and I'm kind of just looking like, how do you talk to your mom like that? I don't care how much my mom screams at me. I could never scream at her. It was kind of insane to just watch the way that she talked to her mom. Like, okay, well, I didn't hear anything about my mom, so I went back to the room, and I was just like, oh, my stomach was in knots. But I opened the door, my mom was sleeping, and Lyle was sleeping, which my mom would not be doing if she was worried about me. So it was all good. It was all good, and that is a story about how I got high with Jenelle and R.I.P. Valerie and her weird beatboxing baby daddy. And it was basically like my first time really being high, and it was terrifying, and I hated it. And to this day, I don't even smoke weed ever. I probably haven't even tried it in like 5 years. It's just not my thing. So yeah, alright. Thanks for listening to my story time. Bye guys.